What's going on, Mr. Lochner?
Oh, you know, same stuff. Keeping busy in this room here.
I don't think you ever leave the Smurf room.
The Smurf room. The Smurf room. Yeah.
It is the Smurf room,
colorful, isn't it?
Just a bit, buddy. Just a bit. All right. Welcome back to another night of the Hangout Live. We've got people starting to join in here. Blair Abernathy, Margot Van Waveren. Hey, Veronica. So, yeah, we're going to have people coming in, and we've got a great show tonight, brother. It's been a weird week. I've been sick all week, bro.
Oh, man.
I'm sick. So I'm not going to be able to do a bunch of talking tonight. So you and Hayden and Cassandra are going to have to carry everything, brother. Kimberly, you rock. We love you. So I think we talk a little bit about tonight's show and then what we got going on. Obviously, we are broadcasting on 3 platforms tonight. We're doing Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch TV on the Rams Network.
And we could talk about dope panels. I've got dope panels in here. Erin Ballin helped me out trying to get my sound in here. So when I'm mixing, it's, balanced. And
right.
We also got blue collar cables. Look at it. I got my blue collar cables. He makes a special end, so he'll even put your name on it. That way, you know how I get on stage, I'll break these things. But not these ones. These ones have not broken. Regular cables do not last long with me. But
you didn't say these ones, did you? You didn't get redundant, did you?
Not with blue collar cables. Blue collar cables. They last.
Right.
I tell you what, the quality is good. It's kicking butt.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. All right. So we've got Hayden Vatera and Cassandra Soto joining us tonight. I hope I didn't butcher her last name.
Probably did.
Well, I probably, let's ask her. Hey, guys, what's up?
What's up?
Hey.
Look at you guys. How you going to look that good just with a lamp or something behind you? Robby and I put all this money into lighting and sound and cameras, and you're like, here we go. And top
us. A massive filter over here.
Massive filters.
Snapchat
filter.
Well, you're talking about Cassandra, not me, right?
She's looking beautiful.
I sure hope so, but you never know.
So anyway, Hayden.
Yes, sir.
We got to meet each other the other night at a State Line Band show.
Yeah, the good old State Line Band.
And those guys are making some waves, man. You guys sound incredible together. And,
Thank you so much.
Making waves in Texas as well. Robby, I don't know if you know this, but the State Line Band, with Hayden included, just won Best New Band or Duo in Texas at the Texas Radio Awards.
I do know that. We had a guest on here a couple weeks ago and we talked about it.
Oh, yeah. Huh. I guess that would have been
Let me think about that.
Patrick.
Cassandra knows Patrick. She actually did a State Line gig with us a while back.
Really?
We had a twin fiddle gig. Patrick was in hog heaven.
Oh,
nice. Me too, because I love playing twin fiddles, especially with her.
Too.
Yeah, these guys kick ass, man. We'll show you guys some videos here coming up soon. Watching from Pennsylvania. Thank you, Stephen, for coming in.
I went to Penn State.
You went to Penn State?
Yeah, right in Happy Valley.
Do you and Stephen know each other?
Well, probably.
Here, let me bring him back. There he is. There's
only 20 people in the state, so probably.
Yeah. Like, hey, Rob.
At Penn State.
You remember me from that show like 35 years ago. I was front stage, don't you?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm on your Facebook.
Yeah, we're friends on Facebook. Florida's in the house as well with Wendy Frankton down there. Thank you, Wendy, for joining us tonight. So let's talk about some things. You've got some exciting stuff coming up. You just released some music of your own, Hayden.
Mm-hmm.
But, I did get news today that you guys are going to be playing at AT&T Stadium.
Yeah, with the State Line Band.
That's with the State Line Band.
Cool, yeah.
That's killer, brother. Are you gonna jump in, Cassandra? They gonna let you jump up there?
I don't know. You might need to. Oh. What are you doing May 16th?
Oh, wow.
I mean, playing.
Cassandra's quite a heavy schedule herself, so it's hard.
I bet she does.
For sure.
I bet she does.
That's going to be it's a private event, but it's going to be awesome, man, playing in there. I've actually done it one time before for the American. It's one of the big rodeos. I played with an artist named Austin Whalert there. So we played like the opening ceremonies or whatever, and it was pretty cool.
Nice, brother. It's got to be super exciting. Cowboy Stadium. Hey, I think we know this name. This guy's Jody Dominguez. So, he says, listener.
That's the first yeah, Jody, my boy.
Jody, obviously the lead vocal, the man with the voice for the State Line Band. He's in the house. Thanks, Jody. So let's take it back to the beginning. Hayden, we'll start with you. Let's go all the way back to, you know, living at home. Were your parents and mom and dad artists? Were they musical?
My dad was a rice farmer. No musical inclination whatsoever. But my mom, she's from Veracruz, Mexico. And down there when she was young, she sang a lot of opera. She's got a beautiful soprano voice. And she did some stuff on the radio and things like that, and thought about going pro, but decided to have a family instead. She married my dad, came up to El Campo, Texas, and that's where I grew up.
Nice.
And then, of course, I got the music bug from her, and learned. I wanted violin ever since I was a little kid for some reason, but we couldn't find any violin teachers in town. She wanted me to learn violin, you know, classical violin, not fiddle. You know, there was a few teachers there, but she was like, no, my mom was, you know, big into classical. So I started with piano, and then a year later, like when I was in second grade, found a teacher in Houston. So we drive up there 70 miles each way every single week from like second grade all the way through high school to take violin lessons. And then I came up to UT to go to school in what was that, 92? Yeah. And hey, correct. Cassandra's mom is here. You knew she was gonna be. What's up, Mom?
Hi, Mom.
I'm sad to say that I've known this one for over 10 years now, and I still haven't had a chance to meet her mom and her dad.
Seriously?
Yeah. My mom loves her more than me. So what are you gonna do? You know?
That's how it always is, brother. That's how it always goes. So, Cassandra, now that we've got your mom in the conversation, was your family musical when you were growing up?
Well, actually, my mom was quite a talented musician on her own as an adolescent, and a huge music fan, which, you know, really influenced me growing up. I didn't have anybody who played professionally anywhere nearby in my family, but I saw somebody playing the violin when I was 3 years old and decided that that's what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. So my mom got me, you know, it took her almost a year to find a teacher that would take a child that young. And we kind of lived out in the sticks in PA. So it was like sort of a 45-minute hour drive to lessons. I think you also had a similar situation.
About an hour, yeah.
But my mom was driving me back and forth to Pittsburgh all the time for lessons ever since then. And it's just been nonstop since then, basically.
Wow.
That's dedication on both families to there every week. That's a lot.
Yeah, my school didn't have a string program or anything like that, so
neither did mine.
It's just kind of things were. It's a small town, and things were different then, I think.
What town was this? What town were you from?
I'm from a little town outside of Pittsburgh. It's about 45 minutes northeast, called Freeport, Canning area.
Okay, Freeport and El Campo.
El Campo, that's right.
Yeah.
So where is El Campo in comparison to San Angelo?
Oh man, that's a long ways. El Campo's on Highway 59, right smack between Houston and Victoria. We're kind of on the way to the Gulf Coast.
All right.
The beach was about an hour from us.
That's a good place to be then, brother.
Yeah. And actually Freeport was one of the beaches that we would go to. That was like the nice beach. Matagorda was the crappy one, and Freeport was the nice one. Surfside Beach.
Nice.
That's a cool one. I didn't know that. Very cool. There you go.
Robby looks like he surfs.
Yeah.
What's that?
Robby, you look like a surfer. Do you surf?
No, I used to skateboard. I was a skateboarder.
Oh, you're a skater.
I grew up in Arizona. There was no surf. I would have surfed if I lived in California as a kid, but in Arizona it was desert. So what are you going to do? Get your skateboard and hit the swimming pools.
There you go, brother.
Yeah.
That's way cool. How did they become about being in a band. Did Drake scout them out? How did they end up here? No, I didn't scout them out. These guys are talented all on their own. Matthew, thanks for asking though. So let's talk about it. High school, you were playing strings in high school, both of you, correct?
Well, I was playing violin, not so much like
Right.
we didn't have orchestra or anything like that, but we were playing doing the UIL contests every year, just where you would go and do your little piece in the front of the judges and everything. That was like the most nerve-wracking experiences of my life. Like, I can do that. I can play in front of 40,000 people, no problem.
Right.
True.
But then I went to UT, and that was the first time I got to play in an orchestra, which was a really, really incredible experience. I'd seen orchestra concerts obviously before, but to be one of the 30 or 40 violinists in a group of like 100 people or 80 people on stage, a full orchestra, and feel the power of that, man, that was very cool and addictive. I enjoyed my time at UT playing in the symphony. So.
Oh yeah, I imagine it's got to be harder playing in front of small crowds than it is bigger.
Infinitely.
Yeah, especially when there's that there.
Right.
It's always different. Like weird, like playing in your hometown and stuff, and people you grew up with out here. For some reason, it's much more nerve wracking because they knew you when you were just a little dork with the violin before you were a professional musician.
Right.
I'm still a dork with a violin, but whatever.
Like, what is he talking about? What is he saying? Now? Okay.
Now, I played violin growing up as well. And then I played even a dorkier instrument, in my opinion, was accordion.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Put some tape on my glasses, baby, and my husky
Lawrence Welk and all that. Throw down. Okay.
Hell yeah. Get some Weird Al going. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Right on.
So after high school, you go to college, you got UT, you're playing there. Let's talk about what brought on getting into the actual national stream. So 1997, you hook up with Rick Trevino, correct?
Yeah. Before that, I had been playing just with some, local and like regional like dance hall bands and kind of doing that whole circuit, paying my dues and cutting my teeth on the proper dance hall repertoire and how to play fiddle. I had to learn how to play fiddle because I was a classical violinist. I didn't grow up playing fiddle at all, so I had to learn like the style and everything. But I got the opportunity to audition for Rick Trevino in 1997. I think I was like 23 years old, and I got the gig, and I was just riding high, man. Hopped on the tour bus and traveled with him as full-time for 3 years from 97 to 2000. So, and that was right when he was coming off. I joined the band right after his third #1. So it was go time, man. It was the dream. I still remember that first moment, seeing the tour bus and about to step on it. I had my brother with me, helping me with my stuff. And I was like, I opened the door to the tour bus and I was like, okay, gotta remember this moment, dude. I'm stepping on the tour bus for the first time. It was awesome. So
how many people were on the bus?
Let's see. We had a 7-piece band, sound man, and merch guy. So 9, and then 10 with the bus driver.
Wow.
That's got to get funky.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's especially after like a 2-week run, you got some of those overnight drives, and oh my gosh, it's ridiculous, dude. You try to keep everything as clean as you can, but man, some people's hygiene just ain't up to par.
It starts being that junior high, dressing room again.
Yeah, I remember one band I was in, not Rick's band, but one guy would play. We'd be playing in the summertime, and he'd have his pearl snap shirt. We'd all be drenched.
I've heard this story before.
And this dude would hang his sweaty, freaking soaked, and he like was really like not the best body odor, and he would hang his stuff right there with all our cleanly, freshly starched shirts. And I remember one time I go in a hurry and I put on my shirt and as soon as I started sweating, I was like, oh my God, I smell rank. This is a fresh shirt. It was because his shirt was right up on mine.
Wow.
Serious?
Yeah, dude. I was like, come on, man. You know,
So
when you realize people just don't have manners.
that's a very weird way.
You just have to go to your bunk and shut the curtain, right, and just kind of tune everybody out.
Oh man, I know. That's what's important. Like, and that's one thing I remember when Milton Walters, Rick's band leader, told me at the beginning, like, cause I was just this little, I hadn't played with anybody like, you know, big or anything like that. And there were other people auditioning that had played for Mark Chestnut, Lori Morgan. One was like the Texas State fiddling champion for several years, you know? So I came with no pedigree and no real experience really. And he's like, you know, I want you in the band. It's not because you're like the most qualified, because I know that you're going to work hard and I will be able to get along with you on a tour bus for an extended period of time. You know, because that's I'm sure, like, Robby, you know that well, man. There's always sometimes there's always that one guy, man. You just You
know, how it goes is there's usually one guy. There's one guy who's the a-hole, and if you look around and you go, everybody in this situation is cool. Guess who it is? You're like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, exactly.
There's always one. Wait a minute, everybody's cool. There's a problem here. Maybe
So, are you the a-hole, Robby? Is that?
No, I didn't say that. In our situation, I could say no.
I will agree with you.
Oh,
moving.
Ouch.
Oh, stinger. Shot across the bow. So, Cassandra, what about you? What happened after high school?
Actually, after high school, I went to Penn State, as I mentioned, but I did not study music.
No.
I studied engineering.
What? You got a thinker going on up there. Nice, nice.
So I went to engineering school, and then I was, like I said, I didn't have any real professional musicians in my proximity growing up, like in my family, or like, and I was in a great band that played all over PA, like the tri-state area. Like, we did great, but I didn't know anybody that like really made a career out of it. So I always knew it was something I wanted to do, but I had no idea how to do it. So I got a scholarship to the engineering school. So that's what I did. So I did that. And I was also like, at the time, I thought, if you're going to go to music school, you're going to become a music teacher or you're going to play in a symphony. And I didn't want to do either of those things. Since then, things have changed, and there's all these different cool programs. And I still think, you don't have to study music to be a musician in college anyways, but there are more options than what I thought there were. So after that, I worked for about 3 years and like basically was playing full time, but also had a full-time job, and it was a nightmare, and I wasn't getting anywhere with either thing because of that. And I just quit. I spent the first 3 years working my job thinking, okay, well, I'll quit this job whenever so-and-so calls me, and when I get the call, or when I get this bigger gig or whatever. And I realized it was never going to happen if I didn't just move on with my own life.
Right.
And then I made space for that to happen. And of course, once I made space for it to happen, it did happen. So that was when I was living in New York City, and then I lived there for about 5 years, and I relocated to Nashville, Tennessee. And
Nash Vegas.
Yeah. And the city of Nashville has been very kind to me, and I've had a lot of great opportunities since then.
Nice.
Life lesson in that one right there, because when you open up that, by getting rid of the job, and you opened it up and trusted in the universe, whatever you want to call it, the door's open, right?
Yeah.
You had to trust and allow it to happen. And once you do that, then things start happening. I talk with Luis Maldonado about this a lot.
Yeah.
He's big on that, and he kind of, and look what he does. He does very well for himself, and he does that. He'll throw himself out there and trust it's going to happen, and it always does.
Eventually.
We just had that conversation the other night. For those of the folks here that don't know Luis Maldonado, up until recently, Luis was the guitarist for the band Train. And he had been putting it out in the universe that he wanted to get back to his roots and classic rock and the things that he wanted to be part of. And now he is he's working with one of the all-time greats, Foreigner. So
nice.
It's crazy how that's a common theme amongst everybody that we talk to, Robby, is that they finally had to get past that fear and trust into what they believed, and once they did, it became what it was. So
Yeah.
that's actually pretty ironic. It's across the board. You guys wouldn't imagine how many people have said that.
Yeah, and I think it's so sad that probably you could say maybe most people in the world don't ever do that,
Right.
because there's not only their own fears of the unknown and uncertainty, but the family pressures or friends pressures to like, oh my God, I knew that when I was at UT, I was an accounting major. Lord help us, because I went into UT thinking, okay, well, I love music, but I need a solid job to fall back on, right? So I was in the accounting program, and man, when I decided I was leaving that to go play in this country band, this is before I got with Rick, obviously, I just had enough. I couldn't go to another accounting class. I'm like, how am I going to go to work? So I made the leap. My parents were always very supportive of it. But there were the friends that were like, man, you're screwing up, dude. You're 2 years away from a degree, and then you'll have any job that you want in this field, and you'll be making money, and then you can buy all the guitars you want. And well, now they look at my Facebook and wish they were me.
Right.
Well, and this goes for any walk of life. It's not just a musician. It could be actor,
Sure.
it could be anything in the arts, but it could be anything, owning a business or whatever it may be. But this is absolutely true. And then the key thing you said was the falling back on, because people, oh, you're a musician, you got to fall back on. It's like, you know what? If you've got a fallback plan, that is your plan. That is your plan A.
Exactly.
Even if it's my plan B, it's my fallback. No, it's not. It's your plan A. That's what you're going to do. You're going to fall back into it. So
burn the ships, man. Cross the ocean, burn the ships.
Yeah,
That's
right.
it.
You do that, and you're like, here, okay, now I've got to make it happen, and just let it happen. And
Exactly.
there's a lot of fear involved, but false evidence appearing real, just throw it aside and go for it.
Yep. I like you, Robby. You the man. I like that.
Hell yeah. Life begins where fear ends, man. That's all it is. So, So let's talk about getting those tour buses and stuff. Cassandra, what was that big moment for you? He had his big moment with that opening that tour bus door.
Oh, when she met me,
There's the big moment.
Hayden and I met on MySpace. We were friends. We became, because there's not that many electric violinists out there. There's not,
Right.
at the time there wasn't, and we had a little community of friends that, like, as a teenager, I considered these people some of my closest friends, and they were like forum friends or MySpace friends, and he was one of them. And
wow.
Yeah.
That worked out.
That moment was the moment that I met Hayden was up there in my life, but it wasn't probably that moment. One of the biggest moments of my development that really stuck out to me a lot is when the first tour bus that I did was also a similar experience to that. I was like, that was really right within the year after I moved to Nashville, after I really made the call to just make space in my life for things to unfold the way that I wanted them. I got a gig where I was on a bus, and I was like, okay, I wasn't losing my mind there. I wasn't losing my mind. So I totally relate with that. But I recently, in the last 4 years ago, I got a call to play with a Bollywood star, and the biggest pop star in Indian music history, actually. And he's a young guy. He's in his prime. So it's basically like we don't know who he is, but it's like playing for Elvis there, like in his prime. He's like that big.
Wow.
He's huge.
He's huge. Yeah. He's so big. And there's so many Indian people out there. So if you're a famous Indian person, you're like really, really famous.
Right.
But I remember I was on the plane and they called me, and they called me, first of all. And I was like, what the heck? It was not that long ago that I was calling people to ask them if I could audition, right? I was hitting people up to be like, hey, I'm here. Want to be friends, And they called me. And they asked me if I would be willing to do this. And they also asked me if I would come in 3 days, which I said no to. But I about a week, 7 days later, I was on a plane on the way to India.
Wow.
And I was I play the violin. I'm a violinist. And somebody from the other side of the world called me, and they offered me money, and then bought me a plane ticket, and I am now on a plane over the Atlantic. This is happening. Like my life is happening right now.
Right.
And it was incredible. Like I'm still in these moments, I'm still 8 years old looking at the kids at Rhode Island recital thinking, man, they're so good. Like, how will I ever be able to play that song? And they're like the 12-year-olds, you know? And I'm still that person. But then everything that I get to do, it's like everything I get to do is just like another moment where I'm playing what the 12-year-olds are playing. And now I'm doing what the big kids are doing. And now I get to do things all the time that I've thought that I could, you know, were nearly impossible, but somehow we're still arriving there. And so moments like that.
Who was the artist?
His name is Arijit Singh. And it's
so
he's a Bollywood
you played through India, and obviously there's a lot of people in India, like a lot of people. So the crowds were really big.
I mean, yeah, it was. We did actually the biggest tour in Indian history. We played arenas and stadiums there, ranging from 25,000 to 40,000 in a cricket stadium, which was pretty rad.
Right?
Glory.
Yeah, it was really glorious. Like, oh my gosh!
And you got all kinds of solos and stuff, right?
I got a really big solo, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
You know what? Let's try to check out some of these promos. So Hayden, you sent me over a promo that I'm going to try to share on here. Now, YouTube likes to combat us a lot and choke down our filters, but we'll see what we can make happen here. Let's see what we can do. And
the Tequila Rock promo.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to open here. If Robby, if you want to keep talking for a moment here while I try to make this happen, because it's
I do. I'm actually curious about this India thing. I'm kind of curious because when you have acts like that are really big, and over here people have no idea. Like my friend Barry Sparks played in a band called the Bees in Japan, and they're humongous. They're huge, and everybody's like, who? Like he had played with a lot of bands in the States that people knew of, and then when he left to do the Bees thing, people were like, well, what is he doing? It's like, are you kidding me? They're playing stadiums sold out, 70,000 people, 5 nights in a row. Of course he's going to do it. So it's just, it's really super cool that you're, you go somewhere and you're playing these huge shows, and nobody here knows who the artist is, right? I'm curious more about some of the road stories.
He has an audience anywhere in the world that there's an Indian population. So like we did a sold out arena tour in the US.
Oh wow.
But it's all Indian people who they really stay connected with their pop culture in particular, whether they're first or even second generation people. So it's like my friends, I didn't know who he was, to be completely frank.
Yeah.
I didn't know who he was before. None of my
friends called you out of the blue, didn't know who they were. Obviously you did a little bit of research, found out the situation.
It was like everything else where it's like a friend of a networking, a friend of a friend.
Sure.
Recommended, So I quickly figured out who it was.
Yeah. Now, was it a big band? Was there a lot of people in the band, or
25 people on stage, over 200 sends to front of house?
Wow.
Kidding. I'd be the sound man for that.
Wow. Yeah, no kidding. So, wow, were everybody on ears too, or?
No? Oh yeah.
Oh, you were. So, wow, that's insane.
It was insane.
So they must have had a huge crew. How did you guys travel? On bus, or was it
all planes?
All plane. That's even better.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was really the format that they had was really interesting because he has his full-time band of people who are local to India that play with him all the time, and then he wanted to do a tour where he featured world musicians and he highlighted the different markets around the world with people representing different countries and different styles of music, and I was the American fiddle player.
Mm.
So we had a guy playing didgeridoo, and we had Turkish instruments and bagpipes and things like that. So that's why there were so many people, plus a lot of singers.
Wow. It's killer. And obviously a lot of crew too, right? Like a lot of crew to handle all that.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's a lot of like local crew everywhere we went.
Yeah.
You know.
But if he had to have a sound man that was dedicated with that many sends going out, there's a guy who had, you know, something like a flash drive that he had everything hooked up and figured out. They couldn't have used the house guy for something like that.
Just
right.
We had that. Yeah.
And monitors.
But in the U.S., it's commercial flights. Like, just, I'm surprised that the plane didn't go down with the amount of stuff that we checked.
Barely taken off.
Pretty much filled up the plane, right? It was like all people with the band that was. You might as well just charted at your own jet. They probably
should have. They probably saved about $20 to $50 by not chartering one, but you know,
right.
Bottom line.
Right. All right, so let's check this out. Hayden, you want to give us a prelude into this? It's Tequila.
Yes.
Brother.
So this is the current project that's kind of been my passion project for the last several years, and Cassandra's a part of it. Tequila Rock Revolution. It's mariachi metal. Basically, we're taking the old school mariachi stuff and just metalizing the heck out of it. But with metal band, but also with the traditional mariachi instruments like the trumpet, the vihuela. On this latest single that we have coming out tomorrow, the Paraguayan harp, right?
Wow.
So we're picture like what Trans-Siberian Orchestra is, right? We will be the Mexican version. That's the goal.
Nice.
And we kind of have that Day of the Dead theme. You know, we paint our faces with the skull, sugar skull stuff. And in the dream world that will exist hopefully soon, we will be touring in the fall, you know, from like middle of September all the way through November for Halloween, Day of the Dead, and then Trans-Siberian over Christmas, you know?
Badass, brother.
Yeah.
Badass. Well, let's check it out right here, right now.
Yep. I want to see this.
Mi cascabel con una cinta morada, yo tenía mi cascabel. Yo tenía mi cascabel con una cinta morada, yo tenía mi cascabel. Y como era de oropel, se lo di a mi prenda amada, pa' que jugara con él allá por la madrugada.
Damn.
That
looks hot, brother.
The little sizzle reel from actually our first show at 310 Austin, which is the smaller venue attached to the Moody Theater where they shoot Austin City Limits live here in Austin, Texas. And we did that. That was 2017. Actually, that was our debut show, and we got it recorded. And, you know, they have that cool video wall in the back. And that's where we'll be this Friday, actually, too, doing the single release party and all that stuff. So, yeah, it's very exciting. It's like having an army on stage with you up there. It's awesome.
That is
I could see that being really popular in that time frame. You're right. It's the perfect time frame to do it. And
yeah.
Cool.
And so, like that particular piece that you heard there was a traditional mariachi tune. It's like the big showpiece that all the mariachis they'll end the show with it, or it's because everybody gets a solo. Everybody gets a thing. It's mariachi music is so virtuosic. You know, most people don't realize that. Right. Kind of part of our mission is to like spread it and educate people about it. I mean, most people, you say mariachi, they're like, oh, like the music, the guys in the restaurant walking around playing Guantanamera and La Bamba, you know, which is definitely part of it. But the tradition of mariachi and the repertoire is so amazing. That piece of Cascabel is a hugely popular one. And yeah, it lends itself so well. It's a 6/8 groove. It lends itself perfectly to metal, you know, and the double kick drum and muted guitars, and of course the electric violins, and you have the trumpets, the power of the trumpets. It's exciting. and it's cool to be able to take something traditional like that and kind of give it a shot in the arm, you know.
That's cool.
That is cool. So we were talking. So Patrick and I, Patrick from the State Line Band, we have our own little promotions company called Quake Promotions.
Great name, by the way.
Yeah, it's better than the other one, which was Dwayne. But the Quake Promotions, and we're talking about putting together a rock show with Robby and Jack Russell's Great White.
Oh yeah.
Teaming them up with either Tesla, Foreigner, or ZZ Top, or all the three that we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
And then having you guys on that ticket as well, I think that would kick ass.
That would
What do you think, Robby?
It'd be different.
Yeah,
I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it. I know a
it'd be
bass
epic.
player who'd be perfect for you guys too. If
Oh,
you ever
really?
need a bass player. Javi Bajorquez. He played with, you know who Joan Sebastian is?
Oh yeah.
Played with Joan. Yeah.
Wow.
Killer bass player. I watched that and go, man, that's so Javi. He's killer bass
Really?
player.
Well, I'd like to know him for sure, you know.
Yeah.
So,
I'll give you guys each other's information so you and Robby can stay in touch after this for sure.
that'd be great.
All right, Cassandra, we're going to see your chops now.
Yeah.
We saw a little bit of you on that other one, but let's share something from you right now, shall we? You want to set this up? I'm doing some Heart Barracuda as a cover that you've done. Oh, she's squeezing.
Hey,
all right.
produced a song with me for me, and we filmed it here in Austin too. So
Really nice. Let's see what you got.
Shoes.
Damn. Yep. Wow.
Cool.
She shredded that, man.
Son of a bitch.
You guys obviously must know Mark Wood because that's
Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, that's how we met at the NAMM show down at the Wood Violins booth. You were like 19, I think.
Yeah, I was.
And yeah, that's how we both work with Mark, one of the artist mentors for his Electrify Your Symphony program. Cassandra knows him real well. We've done a lot of stuff together, and we are definitely those instruments for people who aren't aware of those instruments, they're called Viper violins, and they're extended range instruments. They're like both of ours have 7 strings, so 3 strings more than a traditional violin, 3 lower strings. So nice low, you get a low B flat, and man, it just lends itself so well. They're actually fretted, those are actual frets on the instrument. Gives you a lot of extra squeals and punch when you're playing with distortion, and that's what we love to do is rock and roll.
I was wondering about if those were actually frets, or if they were just lines to kind of gauge it by, but they are actually frets.
Yes.
It sounds fretless though. I mean, it sounded like a slide guitar.
Yeah, the design is really brilliant. The way they have the frets, they're higher down lower, and as they come up the neck, they're shaved down. But it doesn't, I mean, obviously you can feel them, but it doesn't affect your glissando or anything like that. So it's really cool, man. I love the Viper. It's like the ultimate instrument to me. So
that was incredible. Absolutely incredible. Jody Dominguez says y'all got to check out Hayden's. Okay, Hayden, you say that.
Canción del Mariachi. It's the big song from you saw the Antonio Banderas movie Desperado.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The one that everybody was, Oh, we did Tequila Rock Revolution. Did a version of that, but it's super metalized with a guy named Gabriel Guardian from a band called Immortal Guardian. I don't know if you know who those guys are, but
I have heard of them.
Yeah, super shredder. He plays guitar and keys at the same time and just like shreds insanely.
Yeah,
He's
ridiculous.
He's a kid from the Valley here in Texas, man, and he was a mariachi when he was a young kid, and now he's just guitar god guy, and we collaborated on that, and he played the solo and the intro and stuff on that, and we had Derek Drummer play with us, and I've never seen feet move that fast,
Really?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And we've got some other stuff out there as well. We did a rock power metal ballad version of Remember Me from the movie Coco, the big ballad in that.
Oh, nice.
We did a really cool video for that too.
Yeah.
Basically, I took it and we put it in a minor key, and it's like a hybrid of Docking in My Dreams and Bulletproof from Godsmack.
Nice.
So
that's good company to be in right there, brother.
yeah, man, it's kind of just drawing from that 80s rock vibe and the heavy metal stuff, and putting, like I said, it lays very well with the mariachi stuff. So
Yeah, that's cool.
I would like to put this show together just to see the two of you take on Mr. Lochner there in a showdown on stage.
oh man,
The Devil Went to Georgia.
yeah.
Yeah.
We do that in the show.
Do
Actually.
you really?
We kind of it's a hybrid of the Charlie Daniels and the Adrenaline Mob version, and the mariachi version that Mariachi Sol de Mexico did a while back. I don't know if you've ever seen that. It's really cool, like a full mariachi doing Devil Went Down to Georgia. It's awesome.
Oh no.
So
Wow,
I'm
cool.
gonna check that out.
we kind of mix all those, and we also do, like we do a Iron Maiden and Metallica medley, and using you haven't heard Creeping Death till you heard it with trumpets in the beginning.
Seriously.
It's fun. Like what we're all about is we want to do the mariachi thing, but we want to take the mariachi stuff and put it into our favorite metal songs as well.
Oh,
and
cool.
it's cool how it mixes. It really does mix well.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
So now do you do both versions? Do you sing in Spanish and English, or is it just Spanish?
Yeah, well, no, so obviously we sing all the mariachi stuff in Spanish,
Right.
Remember Me, we did bilingual, but
Right.
then like the Metallica stuff, and we do it in English.
Sweet.
That has to transcend, man. That is badass. So
Thanks, man.
where are you guys playing now? You got any tours set up? You got any shows set up?
The show we have right now is the kind of the single release party, which is coming up this Friday in Austin at 3:10. So we're actually excited to say that that's sold out. So we're pretty excited. This is the first show since the pandemic, and really the first show in a couple of years, because this band is a big band. It's an 8-piece band, you know, and like I said, Cassandra's living in Nashville. We got people from all over, and we're not trying to go and do like the club route and the bar route, you know, because we want to do like performing arts centers, festivals, you know, venues where we can have control of production. We won't be happy till we have pyro and lasers. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
So, yeah, but tomorrow we're releasing our single. We actually did a cover of the classic Ozzy Osbourne, Lita Ford ballad, "Close My Eyes Forever." And that uses the Paraguayan harp instead of the guitar on the intro, trumpets and vipers on the guitar solo. It's good, and it's the first time that we've done. We collaborated on things before, like on Barracuda and some other stuff, but this is the first time that we're like singing, you know, together and like a bona fide duet. You know,
you guys have a recorded version of that Lita song?
Yes, we can. I can send you the MP3 for sure.
Oh yeah, here. I'll send it over to Lita.
Give me 1 second, because the computer's about to die. I'm gonna go plug in right quick.
Yeah, there you are.
Yeah, that's what's coming out tomorrow. Is the studio version of our cover of "Close My Eyes Forever." That's tomorrow.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So you have a video for it and everything then?
Or just video is forthcoming.
May 27th.
Okay.
So Robby said he would forward that over to Lita Ford for you guys to get her.
Yeah, sure. She should see it.
Oh, that would be so beyond epic. I have a friend who is very close with a guy who works with Ozzy and his touring ensemble or whatever in the production. And I'm like, I just text her today. I'm like, hey, so you still with that dude? I know I haven't talked to you in like 3 years, but you know, hey, what's up?
So, got a question. You remember me? I'm your fourth cousin on your favorite uncle side.
Right. But I think it'd be amazing to have them see it, because it's a tribute to them. You know, that's like that's just one of the songs that just has stuck with me my whole life ever since I heard it, and it's such a cool tune and everything about it. You know, that twin guitar solo. I'll always remember Lita's with that double neck guitar. Was it a BC Rich she was playing in that video?
Probably, yeah. Yeah. BC Rich endorsed, yeah.
I met her at the NAMM show the last time I was there. It was awesome, man.
You did?
I did. What? You didn't see that picture?
No.
She was downstairs.
Really?
Yeah. You
Where
missed
was
out.
I
don't know. You weren't there.
Last year?
Last year.
So we put Lita and Jack Russell's Great White together for a show up in Nebraska.
Nice.
And here I had this huge crush on Lita growing up. I mean, all guys did. She was Lita. So I go pick her up, and she comes out in this like little pink jogging suit with her little poodle purse, and she's like, "Hi, Drake." I'm like, "It's still Lita Ford."
Yeah, man.
So I told my wife she's just gonna have to excuse the drooling that night.
Right. You know who I met one time? We were doing a show with the Sleep. I used to play with the Sleep at the Wheel too, the Western swing band.
Oh yeah, they're
we were
great.
doing some big fundraiser thing somewhere. I don't know, up north somewhere. And Morgan Fairchild was the MC. Dude, Flamingo Road, dude, come on, man. That's like, and she kind of gave me a look too. I was a little young puppy boy, you know, I was calling some stuff. She kind of, okay, I can die happy now, dude.
So did you?
It's funny.
What's that guy's name? No, Morgan. I can't even say. Fairchild. Hi. You know what I'm talking about. Did you? Yeah. Brother,
it's funny. She's looking over. Hey, you got a chive on your teeth. No,
right here.
Wait a minute.
That's great. So we've got you playing here for us, man. It'd be great if Cassandra could join in. I'm just saying.
For the what now?
For the Country Strong concert with State Line Band, Aaron Watson, and
Morgan. That's right. That is June 11th. That's
June 11th.
Yeah.
At the River Stage here in San Angelo.
I will consult the Director of Finances, Patrick Quinn.
Which he'll then turn around and look at me and say, "Can we pay more money?"
Right, exactly.
And after what I just saw, my answer is yes.
Right?
Oh my.
We're going to have to work up a country version of Barracuda, I guess.
over the
Give
drum.
me a song.
Just make it a train beat, dude.
People always ask me, they're like, "Can you just pick a fiddle song that you want to play?" And I'm like, "No, any song can be a fiddle song.
That's
If
right.
you're brave enough." And I am brave enough.
Oh, all right. So now I'm throwing down a gauntlet, Robby. You guys keep talking amongst yourselves for a moment. I'm not on the screen. I'm looking something up here for a moment.
Boy. Oh, God.
So then I'll ask you about Asleep at the Wheel. That was they won a Grammy, didn't they? Is a Grammy?
Oh yeah, they've won several Grammys. I don't know about this last time around. I haven't been in the band for a while, but I think when I was in the band, I was 2003 to 2005. They already had like 10.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, they've been around since
Wow.
1970. So this is their 50. They celebrated their 50th anniversary this year.
Wow. See,
And
I didn't
actually, I
realize
was
that.
nominated for a Grammy with those for 2 different Grammys with them back in 2005. We didn't win, but yeah, it was cool. We got to go to 2005. We were at the Grammy Awards, and man, sitting there. We were sitting right behind Slash. Man, I was like, yeah.
Hell yeah. All right.
Nice.
Robby hates when I do this kind of stuff, and you'll see his face here in just a minute kind of turn to a down throw, because Cassandra can be made into a fiddle song, right? So I want to see a video. We're going to it's actually going to be a showdown on the Hangout Live where Robby's going to play his best version of this song, and you play your best version, and we'll put it out there on there. Robby, you up for the challenge?
I don't know what are we talking about?
He said, "Oh Lord."
I don't know what I'm
Okay.
going to do either.
What is he trying to
Here we
get
go.
me here?
Here we go.
All right.
Oh,
Woo!
ah,
That tone, man. Freaking awesome. Oh,
Showdown.
you're gonna have to learn to use the slowdown feature on YouTube to learn that bad boy.
do you see the way he talks to me?
You're sitting right next to
Right.
it.
Did you notice that he said you're going to have to?
Uh-huh.
That should
Right.
There you go.
Oh,
So
wow.
no,
Amazing.
I would love to see you guys play together, man. That would be great.
I don't
Great.
even
So
remember how to play that. I'd have to learn it myself.
Right.
I'm serious. I haven't played it. It was 10 years ago.
Yeah. Man,
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
You're a youngster there. You had your little beard thing still.
Well, I kind of have it. It just keeps breaking.
So we're looking forward to the show that we have you at here in San Angelo with the State Line Band. I'm definitely going to be putting pressure on Patrick to try to
Really?
include Cassandra on that. Now, is it Cassandra or Cassandra?
It is Cassandra. Thank you for asking.
Cassandra. You're welcome. I call my wife Andy because when I first met her, I'd always say Andrea, and she'd correct me and saying it's Andrea. I won't make those mistakes anymore, Cassandra.
There you go.
So we'll try to get you on that show, Robby. I've enjoyed this.
Cool.
Yeah, it's been great talking with you guys, man. We appreciate you
Cool.
on and showing us the love. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's good.
we'll have you on. We're gonna promote more. Hey, give me some stuff that I can work with, Hayden, for real.
Okay.
Obviously, because my stations here in San Angelo are both English format.
Okay.
Things that you've done in English, and then I've got formats up in Waco, Texas, which we have the largest Latino, or what they call regional Mexican music station up there with Lele. And it's
Oh,
a
wow.
big
Oh, yeah,
powerful
nice.
station up there.
Right.
So give me something with that, and I'll send that over to my production manager over there in Waco to get it out there.
Sure. I'll get you all the stuff. All the stuff we
And
have.
of course, when you get that single out and there's a video for it, I'll get the link. Make sure I have, see
Yeah,
it.
we'll keep you guys posted. Totally. I said May 27th will be the video. But
Yeah.
as soon as we have it, we'll send you an advanced link.
Well, I mean, I think I'd probably send it when it's live to her, just so you know.
Okay.
If she spreads it around, you'd want it to be getting hits from you guys, you know. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be so
great.
cool.
Yeah, and if you
Yeah.
want to shoot that over to Lita, you know, we're all
yeah,
about-
exactly. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll definitely send it to her.
that would be amazing, man.
Yeah.
And I hope we get to rock together, man. That would be epic.
Yeah, it'll happen.
It'll happen.
It'll happen.
Very
Robbie
cool.
knows by now.
I'm gonna learn that YouTube video.
There you go. Go to Robbie Lochner's
My lifetimes.
Right. He's got a lot of cool stuff on there. He's classically trained. He does like, Beethoven and stuff like that. So the guy's pretty incredible.
But like you said, not schooled though. I self-trained. I taught myself how to play
Self-trained.
guitar. So
Cool.
no schooling. Taught
There you
myself how
go.
to mix, write, produce, do everything. It's just, I'm not a doctor. So it's like if I was a doctor, I would say probably should go to med school before I cut into somebody. But since I'm just hitting some strings,
Right.
I like to
just do it.
We're not doing rocket surgery.
Right. That's correct.
You gotta be able to hang. We're not doing rocket surgery.
It looks like I'm doing rocket surgery when I try to play the guitar. I'm just saying. All right, guys. Thanks so much. We appreciate you. We'll
Thank
see
you,
you.
rock on, you guys. Take
All
care.
right, cool. Awesome.
All right. That was Hayden Vitara and Cassandra Sotos right here on the Hangout Live.
Cool.
Man, dude, they are cool people, dude. I've got to agree. That little fiddle performance was one of the sexiest things I've seen in music in a long time. That fiddle is badass. The Viper.
Yeah, it's very cool. Very it's a trip because it's so it's like a slide guitar. I mean, it's electric and it's it's just cool. It's very cool.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and it would be fun to put them with you guys up here.
That would be. I want to see the performance of that thing they're doing. I think that's going to be killer.
Yeah, me
You
too.
know, it's just that time of year. It's super popular. I mean, what a great idea.
Right? All right, let's get some shout outs. Blair Abernathy, Wendy, Bill Powers, Matthew, Kevin Foster, Dale Preston, State Line Band made it up into the house.
State line.
Steven, Joan Chapman. Hey, Joan, what are you doing out there in Kicksland? Cora Hawking, you like my hat, Cora? Thank you very much. All right, guys, we appreciate each and every one of you, and we'll be back again to do this again next Tuesday night, and we'll have fun again. So until then, it's been the Hangout.
Peace.